the power
Power
of
of
media,
media.
the influence of media for foreigners, and how big is the impact.
Yeah, and I think that the church needs to not just be kind of like users of media, but need to be aware of the power of media as a tool to shape society, to shape mindsets, to educate, to inform. I mean, if you think about it, we are all products of the information that we receive. Like my identity, what I believe about life, the values that I have, all of those things are shaped by the information that I've received. Since I was a kid, I've received millions of bits of information that have come through my five senses, and streamed into my mind and are printed in my memory. And then my soul has decided, okay, this is what I believe, this is what I believe about life. This is what I believe about destiny. This is what I believe about God. This is what I believe about myself and who I am. And once I come into agreement with those things, I internalize them, then that becomes who I am. And so it's not just the personality I was born with or the natural gifts that I have, but all of that information completes the puzzle, and I become a person with an identity that I believe about myself. And so that's the power of information, isn't it? The power of information is, incredible, because it's literally shaping each and every generation. And so, if we look ahead 5 years or 10 years, we see how the internet is going to become like so pervasive. It's almost like lungs. It's like breathing. It's like the air around us. There's not going to be, almost anybody on earth that isn't connected to the internet in just a few years. And then you see how the digital environment is going to emerge, where we are actually no longer going to be just people in a natural environment, but we're going to be people walking in a digital spider web, all around us, the Internet of Things, things connected to things, and then those things are connected to us, and everything is connected. And so a digital environment emerges. And then, on top of that, you're going to have all of this tremendous power of technology now streaming into the consciousness of the next generation, in a 24/7, never-ending, multi-platform format. And what is that information? That information is coming from millions of contributors, content producers, and it's being absorbed. It's being absorbed by the next generation, and it's basically informing them of who they are. It's informing them of their identity, and so this is the opportunity. It's the danger, but it's also the opportunity. It's the danger if we leave it into the hands of the world. It's the danger. It is what is going to literally grab hold of this generation. An augmented reality, a virtual reality, massive stream of information flooding through the next generation is going to grab them and pull them into an identity that is not of God, that is godless, that is far from the values of the Word of God. And what we hold to as people of faith today is going to be totally changed in a single generation if we leave that to the world. And so that's why we as people of faith, as the church, we have to rise up and grab hold of these tools, and we have to be leaders, and we have to take this on, take this mandate on, and not be afraid, not be intimidated, and say, no. We are connected to the creative God of the universe, and we can outperform the best of them. It should be. And we can use these tools in powerfully creative ways to inform the next generation. And so there needs to be a whole army of young people rising up in the church today, and we need to lead them and say, we're an army of, a media army, a technology army, a creative army, an arts, media army that is invading the next generation, really, and using these incredibly powerful tools to inform the world of how God created them and how God made them. And I think that that's going to be a huge part of also the 414 window movement going forward is, hey, let's raise up this army for the glory of God.
When we're talking about this big opportunity and talking about disciple or die, what is actually a church can do to disciple people through media? What specific things that they can do?
I think discipleship is basically it's influencing other people to believe and then to act out of that belief. And so, media is the great influencer. And yet, discipleship, that kind of influence comes mostly through relationship. And so it's when you and I sit down together and we're connected, and as one person is pouring into another individual. And I think that's the most powerful form of discipleship. I can influence, but within the context of relationship. So media then becomes the tool that is used to teach me how to do that, or the tool that I can use to help you for your eyes to be opened, or the tool that I can use to reach you and pull you into that relationship, or pull you into the radar screen, where then you're accessible to me. So I see media primarily as the tool that we can use. It's just a tool. Everybody can use that. And it's about how do we think through that process? What is important? What needs to get done? And then how can media help us accomplish that? And the fantastic thing about media is that its nature is barrierless. There's almost no wall. There's almost no barrier that can keep out media and technology. And so how do we then use that, leverage that, to do something massive, to do something far beyond one-on-one, but now it's from us to something that's multiplied thousands or millions of times over to bring, people into the radar screen of the local church, or to activate millions of people, the training of the trainers, where we can then be activated to mentor the next generation. We can be made aware we have to mentor the next generation. And so media is basically, I see as a tool to help the 414 window movement actually achieve, in a short period of time, what we want to achieve. And that's to raise up the next generation that will then go forward and raise up the next generation.